by the universal service under this public license, we are required to deliver service to Botswana, whether it makes money or not, because it's an obligation that is bestowed between upon us. The other thing that BOCRA aids us with is to ensure that there's harmonization in terms of pricing of the products, the primary products of the post, and other third-party products that we are operating.
One of the things that we do at BOCRA is to approve products and services that come into the market, be they for telecommunication, postal, or broadcasting services. So in assessing these products, we make sure that they are affordable, like we indicated. And the primary thing that we do is to make sure that we have cost-oriented prices. In every product that is provided, we want to know how much does it cost to provide the service. The rationale is that the product price must reflect the underlying cost of providing that product. So we approve everything that comes into the market and make sure that it is safe.
We cannot ignore the fact that competition is a necessary business element that triggers innovation. What conditions are needed for competition to effectively appeal to customers?
For competition to thrive, there are three key conditions. There has to be many players, being the suppliers of the service. There has to be those who are demanding the service in numbers. And there has also to be information across the market, so people have to know who is providing what product at what price, and that way the market functions much better.
Fruitful stakeholder relationships are the key to a sustainable enterprise. BOCRA prides itself in building and maintaining a great working and supportive relationship with its stakeholders, where they keep national and international issues of the post at heart.
Generally, we do have quite a healthy relationship. I will tell you that when we attend international events like the POC is the Postal Operators Council, and the CA, which is the Council of Administration, BOCRA is always there. The POC is for us as operators, the CA is for regulators and governments, and there's not a single meeting that BOCRA has missed. So BOCRA is very much abreast of the issues of the post at the global level, at United Nations level. So I would say that signifies a great working relationship.
Due to technological advancements, mail is no longer carried by a pair of runners, and companies have acquired a fleet of delivery vehicles. Therefore, customers expect quality service delivery.
The service providers in the courier sector, there are many of them. And obviously, when there are many players, there will be that competition in the market. So it's kind of self-regulating, at least within the commercial postal operator market. Because if somebody takes 2 days to deliver a letter within a radius of 50 kilometers, and the other one does same-day delivery, so that in itself takes care of issues of quality. But with respect to Botswana Post, where you post a letter and hopes that it reaches the destination, that is where we need a bit of regulation, because there's monopoly of service providers there. We use what we call postal panelists, who are anonymous to the service provider to Botswana Post. They are in strategic areas around the country. And what we normally do is to send trial mail to the postal panelist. They indicate on what day they receive the mail, and will determine whether it has taken the agreed number of days. We have any metrics that we have agreed with Botswana Post that a letter to a particular area should take how many days. So these panelists would normally give us feedback and see whether they took the right number of days. And we use the results from this surveys to give Botswana Post feedback and to make sure that there are corrective measures where the delivery takes longer.
The emergence of ICTs has altered and transformed the postal sector. As a response to digitization, Botswana Post moved from traditional service delivery to being a regional player, leveraging on technology and smart partnerships.
The Post was a traditionalist organization, but then somewhere around 2009, we started to move move and gravitate towards being a service provider. Now, a traditionalist is just us sending letters, right? And offering boxes and having a postal branch. Now, service provision means now diversifying our services and bringing third-party services as an agent. For example, what we do for DRTS, what we do for Western Union, what we do for Botswana Life. So when you look at what then this digitization did, we then said our strategy, and this was in 2009, 2000 to 2011, we said our strategy is going to be leveraging on technology and smart partnerships to diversify revenue streams and enhance existing products. You see, it's quite packed. That strategy was responding to the challenge of technology, which is the digitization we are talking about.
For several years, we've witnessed a decline in demand for letters due to electronic substitution. This calls for postal players to move with the digital age and fully adapt to using advanced communication and payment systems, as well as virtual boxes.
We have been challenged within the postal sector by the new technologies where there is electronic substitution. You would notice that the number of letters that are written has declined drastically because there are more convenient ways of communicating as opposed to using a letter. But the good news is that the future of post is on the e-commerce. There are new technologies where we can buy goods outside the country, but if you buy those goods, eventually when they come to Botswana, they have to be delivered to your desktop, to your doorstep. And that is where the postal sector now comes in to make sure that they take part in the e-commerce. So we are busy working around the clock together with our operators to make sure that they all go digital and they do not miss an opportunity to play in this space.
One of the biggest things that people really appreciate about the post is the postal address. And youth are not really interested in a brick and mortar postal box. So we developed the virtual post box. And by the way, we developed that internally. We didn't bring a third party to do that. So our technology was capable to develop that product.
The future of the postal sector lies in adaptation to digital worlds through customer-centric innovations.
You see, the regulation obviously continues to evolve. And our expectation is that the regulation must respond to technical advancements in the postal industry. So alignment with the postal strategy, for example, the Abidjan strategy, because this is a 4-year cycle, it's very important that as a regulator, BOCRA is paying attention to how the post is transforming and repositioning globally so that the regulations are also realigned to that transformation. And most of it is actually based on e-commerce, it's based on financial services, fintech. Post office is a fintech. So it means that BOCRA needs to ensure that there is a connection between it as a postal regulator with the central bank regulations and federal regulations, because we have to make sure that the post is not left out in the legislation on the other side. Because if that legislation is only going to be focusing on commercial banks, it means that it leaves the post and the the simple man who needs to access financial services, and they call it financial access and financial inclusion. So the legislation, there must always be a bridge in between our primary regulator and the secondary regulators that are working with the post.
The sector is continually evolving, and regulation needs to keep up by creating an environment and policies that triggers innovation. That is, regulation will and should evolve over time.
As we approach the festive holidays, It is important that we prioritize road safety. It is with great concern that we observe high numbers of accidents. As at November 2023, we had lost 347 people compared to 376 same time in 2022. As many of us will be traveling to different holiday destinations around Botswana and across our borders, I plead with you to be very vigilant and to exercise caution on the road. Let me take this opportunity to share with you some tips on 1. Driver behavior, 2. Vehicle roadworthiness. Driver behavior. When driving, please bear in mind the following. Drive when you are fit, that is sober, not fatigued, not visually impaired, and mentally stable. Exercise patience while on the roads. Public transport operators should heed passengers' concerns, and equally, passengers must heed public transport operators' concerns. Let there be cooperation. Reduce distractions whilst driving. Use of cell phone and other gadgets is not allowed. Obey road signs. Drivers should make sure that their passengers wear seat belts. Drivers should not run away when stopped at roadblocks, nor should they make U-turns to avoid roadblocks. Please cooperate with law enforcement officers. Do not run away from accident scenes. Please do things right and do the right things. Some drivers have been prohibited from driving but are still driving on our roads. Please obey the law and court pronouncements. Do not overload passengers and or goods, and ensure that you do not obstruct the view of other road users. Drivers should have regard for other road users. Use of car signals should be done well in time, all the time. Should you observe any worrying behavior by any road user, please contact Police 999 or the nearest DRTS office or the nearest district commissioner's office, because district commissioners are by law chairpersons of the district road safety committees. Roadworthiness of vehicles. Before embarking on a journey, a driver must check for all the basic vehicle components to ensure roadworthiness of the vehicle. Always ensure that tires are in good condition, including tire pressure and alignment. Always carry a spare wheel which is in good condition. Brakes must be in good condition. The windscreen should be in good condition. All mirrors should be working properly. Wipers should be working properly. Lights should be in good condition and properly adjusted. Should be a working fire extinguisher in every car. There is a reflective triangle that has to be put up during emergency. Ensure that all seats, windows, air conditioners, and all emergency exits are in good and working condition. As government, through my ministry, we will do the following. We will engage people to chase livestock from major roads. We ask farmers to cooperate with us to keep their livestock away from roads. We will engage people to patch potholes on major roads. We will improve and renew road signs. We will remove garbage from road reserves more frequently. In conclusion, I've just shared those tips with you and would like to plead with all the drivers and other road users to be vigilant at all times and guard against bad behavior whilst on the roads. This list is not exhaustive. There are many other behavioral issues that can contribute to enhance the safety on our roads. Let us all be saving road users. My ministry will continue to engage you through all media platforms to spread road safety messages, and we shall be visible on all our roads to conduct road traffic law enforcement checks coupled with road safety educational campaigns in an effort to curb the carnage on our roads. I thank you all.
ke mo karagane yo ke mo karaga iyo rona re ja tlhako azishe
batho ke bale yo mongwe tshwana le tate mogolo yo mongwe tshwana le mme mogolo le tsela bua
ke go rakere mo ke mo karagana re tshwere mo go teng gate ga o phasa wa start
ke mo karagane yo ke mo karaga iyo rona re ja tlhako azishe
batho ke ba